the show. And good morning on mics 2 and 3. Good morning to Kristen and Lorenzo, who are made some time to come up today and chat with us. I'm so grateful. I know it's a busy day, busy weekend for both of you, but we're excited to get the party started here on Mid Morning Jazz.
Thanks so much for inviting us.
Of course. Thank you for making time to come up to the station. For those who may not be familiar with Blues to Green and then the festival itself, tell me a little bit about Blues to Green and the work that you all do there, and then how it extends to the festival.
Okay. Blues to Green is a nonprofit organization that uses music and the arts to bring people together, celebrates music and cultures of the African diaspora, and uses music and the arts as a vehicle to raise awareness and foster action around social and environmental issues.
Yeah, I think that's great. I tend to see some of the work that you all do throughout the year going into schools and the education aspect, and just continuing to teach music education and inform people. So I think that's really great. And a lot of people may not know that part. They see the festival, which is a huge part of it too, but the year-round work that goes into not only just putting the festival together, but the work that you all are doing for the next generation. So I think that's amazing. I'm curious, moving on to the festival, what is the heart of this festival? I know a lot of people know it, but they don't know the background and how it got started. So just share a little bit with that with us.
Well, main inspiration for me was my husband, Charles, and I married into a renowned musical family from New Orleans, and Charles was all about music and sharing himself and sharing love with people around the world through music, and carrying parts of his heritage, his cultural heritage, New Orleans, with he and his brothers to all parts of the world. And so that is a central piece that inspires me. Charles passed away several years ago, so that, coming together in community through music, and recognizing that music, carries history and memory, and is a force for healing and connection, and an expression of joy. So we're coming together in that spirit, and making it as accessible as possible to everyone, so everyone from all walks of life can come and enjoy incredible music, world-class music from artists from around the world and around the country, and right here in our own community. So it's that, that connecting piece, coming together, connecting places and cultures from different places to the Springfield area, to our own community, and just, building more connection through music.
That was so beautiful. I really felt the heart. That is the heart. And I think that if your late husband was still alive, he would be really proud, because I feel like when I experienced the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival, it really transforms the city for the weekend. And I just feel like not everyone is a lover of jazz sometimes, but I always see people that I wouldn't expect to see, and it just brings out, every single person that is from this area and people that aren't from this area. So I really think that you're doing such an amazing job, continuing the legacy, and I'm glad that you were inspired by him and his family to do this, because it's something that Springfield definitely needs. So thank you for that. I feel like the big question for this year is that it's back at Court Square, at the original home of the festival, and I'm curious on the decision to move back to Court Square, and like, is that particular location special or unique?
I'm personally happy to be going back. It's a beautiful park, and I was really soaking it in this morning. It's a beautiful sunshiny day, and the park looks beautiful. They've restored it, and the historic building 31 Elm is all restored. So it's different from when we were there before, because we actually used parts of that old building, and it was a little scary.
But I saw the stages going up this morning, so
yeah. So because of the construction on the building, we had to find a new location for 5 years or so. We were last in Court Square in 2019. And so it feels good to be coming back to where it started.
Yeah, I'm excited to experience that space. I like to have lunch in that space when they reopen it. I'm like, wow, it's so nice down here. Yeah. And I feel like it's kind of a hidden gem. But I'm excited to see how the festival is going to be in that space. I actually was, a lot of people are having events. I was at a cardio party a couple of weeks ago, and it was in that space too. So I'm excited to see how that space can be used for different demographics and different events, but especially for the Jazz Fest this weekend. One thing that really stood out to me, the festival, obviously the lineup, where we're talking about the lineup, but what was interesting to me was the workshops and the dance patio you have going on. And I was just curious, what's the importance of having an educational component with workshops where people can go learn, they can listen to the artist, but they can also go into a space and learn from the artist as well?
Yeah, I think it deepens the whole experience, because you're given the opportunity to learn about the stories, the histories, the lived experiences behind the music. So, it's not just entertainment, but there's a long, lineage and history that is carried through the music, and each artist, coming from a unique experience, and shaping the music and expressing it in their own way. So just being allowed into their own, their own artistic process and cultural practice, and what they carry with them, the stories and histories that, they're carrying forward. And so that's what's really emphasized through these talks. And we are fortunate to have on Saturday a workshop with Zakai Curtis, so Grammy-winning pianist from the Hartford area. So he'll be exploring Afro-Cuban rhythms and jazz harmony and improvisation. And then we'll have a talk with Etienne Charles about his Gullah Roots project. So that'll be exploring Gullah influence on American history, American culture, and his own, artistic expression through this project. And we'll have I think 2 or 3 guests from the local area, and Alicia Cutting will be moderating the conversation, and there'll be 1 or 2 folks from Pamusa, and I think a Brace family member, and so that should be pretty rich. And then there's a Stories and Songs event with this band called All the Rivers, they're coming from Vermont. It's a immigrant-led global ensemble, so the musicians are from various parts of Africa and Haiti. So they'll share, some of their personal stories and migration journeys, and some of their cultural roots coming from different places. And there'll be a couple of Springfield youth from the First Generation Ensemble, the Performance Project, who will also be there.
Yeah, so that's so amazing. And I think, I wanted to circle back to that because that really ties into the work the off-season work that you do from the festival and the education component. And someone who's like me, where I love music, I'm immersed in music, but I'm not a musician. I'm excited because I can go and, learn from artists, not just from musical backgrounds, but just all types of art. And I just love that opportunity. And people that may want to learn, they can come and listen to the music, but they can go and hear from the artists and they can learn something too. So I really think that's a really great component as someone who works in education as well. So I love that. I kind of mentioned before how the city kind of transforms for this one weekend. It's music, positivity really changes how we experience the downtown space and each other. And what does that really mean for you to see Springfield transformed in that way?
It's kind of thrilling, that feeling of transformation, that what you can do, and in this case, it's through the arts, through music, through creativity, and just reimagining and reshaping a space and the experience within that space, and this being a focus on beauty and creative expression and joy, and all these really positive things. I don't know, to me it's sort of a glimpse into how the world can be, how vibrant and alive and
I agree,
joyful it can be.
I agree. It's really it's almost like you really want to stop time for a moment, during the weekend, and it's just, you're looking around, and I kind of just stop. I'm the person that, mingles around in the different spaces. I particularly loved, last year, the indoor section of the festival, so I would mingle over there, and then I would come back, and sometimes I would just stand back and look and just see everybody and see my city. And it's just if only we could just be like this all the time and have this joyfulness and togetherness. And so yes, I'm just very appreciative of holding space for that and seeing that.
Yeah.
Some more or less serious questions, but fun. What is your favorite place to listen to music outside of the festival?
I love to go to New Orleans and immerse myself in the music there, because there's just so much music, seeping up from the streets. And so that's kind of, even though I'm from Western Mass, that's kind of like going home for me.
I love that.
And it feeds my soul.
I have the experience. I've been to New Orleans, but not on the music. I've experienced a little bit of music, but more the bayou and less the music. So I definitely have to go back, because I keep hearing so many amazing things, and I know this is where music really originates. So I can only imagine the liveliness and what you can really learn when you immerse yourself. Do you have any traditions that you do during Jazz Fest season to prepare or get ready for you? It's okay if you don't.
It's more like going into survival mode.
And preparing yourself. Well, I know we were talking about the rest that hopefully you'll be able to take afterwards. So I hope you do something really nice and relaxing for yourself. You're welcome. And before just closing up, for someone who is listening, or someone who is I'm not really a jazz person, and wondering if they should come out this weekend, what would be your invitation to them?
Oh, definitely they should come out, just for the warm and welcoming atmosphere, the community spirit, the family-friendly activities. There's arts activities, a mural paint party. There's good food. White Lion Brewing Company is serving beer. There's just a feeling of camaraderie and fellowship and being together. And enjoying, letting the different sounds of the music wash over you. So I think it's a treat for the senses.
Absolutely, I would agree. Well, thank you so much. I know you're preparing for a whole festival, so I don't want to keep you too long, but I really appreciate you taking some time out and just conversing with us here on Mid-Morning Jazz. Okay. We really appreciate it. Well, and you're welcome back anytime.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. We are 90.7 FM. We are WTCC here in Springfield, Massachusetts. Just